Hello, wonderful families. Today, we're discussing something you do every day, eating. But did you know there's a lot more to eating than just tasting delicious food? Let's talk about why it's so important to chew our food properly. You see, digestion, that's the process of our bodies breaking down food into nutrients, begins right in our mouths. Just think of your mouth as the starting line of a race. The race? To turn that food into fuel for your body. And how do we kickstart this race? By chewing. When you chew your food, you're breaking it down into smaller pieces. But that's not all. While you're chewing, your mouth produces a special liquid called saliva. This saliva is pretty amazing. It's like a superhero that starts the process of breaking down your food even before it reaches your stomach. So, the more you chew, the more saliva you make, and the better your food is prepared for the next stages of digestion. Now, what happens if we rush through our meals and don't chew our food thoroughly? Well, that's like trying to run a race without tying your shoelaces. You might stumble or even trip. In the same way, when you don't chew your food properly, it can lead to indigestion. That's a fancy word for when your stomach feels upset because it's having difficulty breaking down the food. Let's imagine you're eating an apple. If you take big bites and swallow quickly, your stomach will need to work extra hard to break down those large pieces. But if you take small bites and chew them well, your stomach will have a much easier time. It's like giving a helping hand to your stomach. So, the next time you sit down for a meal, remember to take your time. Enjoy the flavors, the textures, and the joy of eating. And most importantly, chew your food properly. Because remember, chewing is the first step in digestion. So take your time and enjoy your food. Now, let's talk about something very important. Staying safe by being aware of our surroundings. Awareness is a bit like having superpowers. It's about noticing what's happening around us, from the chirping of birds to the buzzing of cars on the road. When we're aware, we can spot things that could be potentially dangerous and avoid them, just like superheroes do. Imagine you're crossing a road. You need to be aware of the cars whizzing by, the traffic lights changing colors, and the people around you. If you're not paying attention, you might step out into the road when it's not safe. But if you're aware, you can wait for the green light, look both ways to make sure no cars are coming, and cross the road safely. It's like having a personal safety shield. Being aware is not just for crossing the road, though. Let's say you're playing in a park. You're having a great time climbing the jungle gym, sliding down slides and swinging on swings. But being aware can help you stay safe here too. You need to notice if the equipment is wet or broken, if there's anything unusual on the ground like sharp objects, and if there are people around who you don't know or who are acting strangely. Being aware can even help you protect your friends. If you see your friend about to run into a tree while playing tag, you can shout out a warning. Or if you notice a strange person hanging around the park, you can tell an adult. Remember, being aware doesn't mean being scared of everything. It's about being smart and prepared. It's like being a detective, always on the lookout for clues. You're not only protecting yourself, but also making the world a safer place for everyone else. Awareness is also about listening carefully. Your ears can pick up sounds that your eyes might miss, like the sound of a car's engine or a dog's bark. So while your eyes are like a superhero's laser vision, your ears are like a superhero's super hearing. And don't forget about your other senses. Your sense of touch can tell you if something is hot or cold, rough or smooth. Your sense of smell can alert you to things like smoke from a fire or the smell of spoiled food. Even your sense of taste can keep you safe by letting you know if something you're eating tastes funny or bad. So as you can see, being aware of your surroundings is a lot like being a superhero. You're using all your senses to spot potential dangers and keep yourself and others safe. Remember, it's not about being scared, it's about being smart. It's about paying attention to the world around you so you can enjoy your adventure safely. And that's the magic of awareness. It doesn't require any special tools or gadgets, just your own senses and a little bit of attention. So, always keep your eyes and ears open. Being aware keeps us safe. Have you ever wondered how countries around the world work together to protect the environment? Let's explore that. Imagine our planet as a big, beautiful garden. Now, if all the countries are gardeners of this garden, they need to work together to keep it green and blooming, right? That's where the Paris Agreement comes in. This is a special promise that countries made to each other to protect our garden, our planet. So what exactly is this promise, the Paris Agreement? Well, it's like a big team game where all countries come together and agree to help fight something called climate change. Now, you might be thinking, what's climate change? Well, think of it as a big, mean monster that's slowly heating up our planet. This monster is making our winters warmer, causing more intense storms, and even making sea levels rise. This monster, climate change, is mostly caused by something we call greenhouse gases. Imagine a thick, invisible blanket around the Earth trapping the sun's heat. That's what these gases do. And the main culprit, it's something called carbon dioxide, which is produced when we burn things like coal, oil, and gas. But don't worry, the Paris Agreement is like a superhero team ready to fight this climate change monster. The countries that have joined this team have promised to reduce the amount of greenhouse gases they produce. They also agreed to help each other in dealing with the effects of climate change, like helping countries that are affected by rising sea levels. To make it easier to understand, let's imagine our Earth as a big round cake. If we keep putting too much heat on the cake, it will burn, right? The Paris Agreement is like turning down the heat and finding other ways to cook our cake so it doesn't burn. Now, fighting this climate change monster is not an easy job. It needs a lot of teamwork, effort, and time. That's why the Paris Agreement also encourages countries to support each other, share ideas, and learn from each other's experiences. It's like a big global study group with everyone working together to protect our beautiful Earth garden. The Paris Agreement is really important because it's the first time that almost all the countries in the world have agreed to fight climate change together. It shows that when we work together, we can tackle big problems and protect our planet for future generations. So remember, just like how you and your friends might team up to clean up a messy playground, countries around the world are teaming up to clean up our Earth and protect it from the climate change monster. And that's what the Paris Agreement is, a promise to work together, to learn from each other, and to do our best to keep our planet, our home, safe and beautiful. Together, countries can make a big difference in protecting our planet. That's what the Paris Agreement is all about. Now let's look up at the sky. Why is it blue during the day? And why does it change colors during sunrise and sunset? To understand this, we first need to know a little about light. When we talk about light, we often think about it as a single thing. But did you know that light is actually made up of many different colors? That's right. Light is a mixture of all the colors of the rainbow. Now, imagine light as a group of tiny, tiny particles, all running around in different directions. These particles of light are called photons. When these photons travel from the sun to our eyes, they don't just come straight to us. They have to pass through the Earth's atmosphere, filled with molecules of air. As these photons encounter air molecules, they scatter or bounce around in all directions. This process is called scattering, but not all colors scatter in the same way. Some colors, like blue and violet, scatter more than others because they have shorter wavelengths. A wavelength is like the size of the step each color takes when it walks. So, in the middle of the day, when the sun is high in the sky, it's the blue light that gets scattered the most, making the sky appear blue to us. But wait, you might say, why don't we see a violet sky since violet light scatters even more than blue? That's a great question. Even though violet light scatters more, our eyes are not as sensitive to violet light as they are to blue light. Also, sunlight reaches us with less violet to begin with. So the sky appears mostly blue, not violet. Now what about those stunning colors at sunrise and sunset? Well, during these times, the sun is lower in the sky, and the light has to pass through more of the Earth's atmosphere. This means the light has more air molecules to scatter off of, and it scatters even more. Because the light travels a longer path, most of the blue and violet light gets scattered out of our line of sight, and the longer wavelengths of light, like red, orange, and yellow, get their turn to scatter. This results in the beautiful warm hues we see during sunrise and sunset. Sometimes, when the conditions are just right, you might see a red sky at sunrise or sunset. This happens when there are lots of particles like dust or water droplets in the atmosphere. These particles scatter the shorter blue and green wavelengths, allowing the longer red wavelengths to reach our eyes. So, you see, the changing colors of the sky aren't just a beautiful spectacle. They tell a story of light's journey through our atmosphere, of scattering and wavelengths, and of our eyes' perception of color. But remember, this is a very simplified explanation. The actual process involves much more complex physics. Scientists are still exploring and learning more about our incredible universe and the many wonders it holds. So the next time you see a beautiful sunset or a clear blue sky, you'll know why it looks that way. Finally, let's talk about machines. Why do we have machines that help us, like washing machines and elevators? Well, have you ever thought about how much time it would take to wash your clothes by hand? Or how much effort it would take to climb up to the 10th floor of a building without an elevator? Quite a lot, isn't it? This is where machines come in. They help us do tasks that would either take us a long time or require a lot of effort. Let's take washing machines, for example. Imagine having a huge pile of dirty clothes to clean. If you were to wash them by hand, it could take you hours, and by the end, you'd be so tired. But with a washing machine, all you have to do is load the clothes, add some detergent, and press a few buttons. The machine does all the hard work for you, and you get clean clothes without getting your hands dirty or feeling tired. Elevators are another great example of machines that make our lives easier. Without them, going up several floors, especially if you live or work in a high-rise building, would be a big challenge. But thanks to elevators, all you have to do is step in, press the button for your floor, and voila! You're there in no time without breaking a sweat. Machines don't just save us time and effort, they also help us do things we couldn't do on our own. Take cranes, for instance. They can lift heavy objects that humans can't, making it possible to build tall buildings and bridges. Or think about the machines used in hospitals, like MRI scanners. They help doctors see inside our bodies and diagnose illnesses that would otherwise be hard to detect. Machines also make our lives more comfortable. Air conditioners keep us cool on hot days, while heaters keep us warm when it's cold. Refrigerators keep our food fresh, and stoves allow us to cook delicious meals. In fact, machines are so important that they've become a part of our everyday lives. We use them to travel, to communicate, to learn, to work, and even to have fun. Cars, phones, computers, and video game consoles are all machines that we use regularly. But remember, while machines are incredibly helpful, they also need to be used responsibly. We should always be mindful of safety when using machines, and we should also think about the environmental impact of the machines we use. So in a nutshell, we have machines to make our lives easier, to help us do things we couldn't do on our own, and to add comfort to our lives. Whether it's washing clothes, going up a building, lifting heavy objects, diagnosing illnesses, keeping us comfortable, or helping us learn and have fun, machines are there to assist us in countless ways. Machines are here to make our lives easier. So the next time you use an elevator or a washing machine, remember how lucky we are to have them. Hello, families, gather around. Let's talk about something exciting. The Olympic Games. Do you know why they are a symbol of international unity? Long, long ago, even before your grandparents' time in a land called ancient Greece, the very first Olympic Games were held. They were so much more than just the games. They were a grand event that brought together people from far and wide. Today, they continue to do just that, but on a much grander scale, uniting the entire world. Now you might wonder, what is international unity? Well, it's like a big, friendly hug that wraps around the globe. It's about different countries, with different cultures and languages, coming together, understanding each other, and working together like a big, happy family. The Olympic Games are like a giant playground where this unity happens. Athletes from every corner of the world come together to compete not as rivals, but as friends. They play fair, they respect each other, and they help each other. It's all about sportsmanship, which is like being a good sport, playing fair, and being kind and respectful to everyone. Let's take an example. Picture two athletes, one from a country that's always sunny and warm, and the other from a place that's cold and snowy. They compete in a race, they both run as fast as they can, and in the end, only one can win. But here's the beautiful part. They shake hands, they smile, they even hug. There's no anger, no hard feelings, just mutual respect and admiration. And it doesn't stop there. These moments of unity are not just between the athletes. They ripple outwards, touching the hearts of people watching from around the world. They teach us that winning is not everything, that we can compete and still be friends, that we are all part of one big, global family. So the Olympic Games are a time when the world comes together to play and celebrate sports, making it a symbol of international unity. Now, let's blast off to outer space. Have you ever wondered why scientists explore space and what they've found about other planets? Well, to start, what is space exploration? Imagine you're in a spaceship zooming past the moon, past Mars, and into the vast starry expanse. That's space exploration, journeying into outer space to discover what lies beyond our home planet Earth. But why do scientists want to explore space? You see, space is like the biggest mystery book ever written. Every star, every planet, every galaxy holds a story waiting to be uncovered. Scientists are like detectives using their telescopes and satellites as magnifying glasses, trying to read these cosmic tales. They're curious about the universe, just like how you might be curious about what's inside a wrapped present. One big question scientists want to answer is, are we alone in the universe? They explore space to search for signs of life, hoping to find organisms or conditions that could support life. Just think about it. There could be aliens out there, living on a planet we haven't discovered yet. Another reason scientists explore space is to learn more about our own home. By studying other planets, we can understand more about Earth's history and future. It's like getting to know your family tree. You learn more about yourself by learning about your relatives. Now let's talk about some discoveries scientists have made. Let's take Mars, for example. Mars is our next-door neighbor in the solar system, and it's been a hot topic in space exploration. Why? Because scientists have found evidence of water on Mars. Water is one of the essential ingredients for life as we know it. So, finding water on Mars is like finding a recipe for life. Isn't that exciting? And did you know that scientists have discovered thousands of planets outside our solar system? These are called exoplanets. Some of these exoplanets are in the Goldilocks zone, where conditions might be just right. Not too hot, not too cold, for life to exist. It's like finding a house that's just the right size for Goldilocks. Let's not forget about the stunning pictures of distant galaxies, nebulae, and stars that space telescopes have captured. These images not only give us a glimpse of the universe's beauty, but also help scientists understand how stars and galaxies form. So space exploration helps us learn more about our universe, and maybe, just maybe, we are not alone out here. It's a grand adventure full of mysteries and discoveries. And who knows, maybe one day you could be a part of this cosmic journey, exploring the stars and uncovering the universe's secrets. How cool would that be? So, space exploration helps us learn more about our universe, and maybe, just maybe, we are not alone out here. Let's journey inside our bodies now. Have you ever wondered why we have different kinds of organs like the heart and lungs? Well, our bodies are like a bustling city, and the organs are the buildings with each one having a specific job to do. Organs are parts of our bodies that have important roles to play. They're a bit like workers in a factory, each doing a different job to make sure everything runs smoothly. Let's start with our heart. The heart is like the city's water pump. It pumps blood, which is like the city's water supply, all around the body. Just like a pump pushes water through pipes, the heart pushes blood through our blood vessels. The heart is very important because it makes sure that all the parts of our body get the oxygen and nutrients they need to work properly. Now, let's talk about our lungs. Imagine the lungs as big, soft balloons inside our chest. When we take a breath, these balloons fill up with air, just like how a balloon fills up when you blow into it. The lungs are very important because they take in oxygen from the air we breathe and pass it into our blood. The blood then carries this oxygen to all parts of our body. At the same time, the lungs help to get rid of carbon dioxide, a waste product that our bodies don't need when we breathe out. So the heart and lungs work together as a team. The heart pumps the blood, and the lungs put oxygen into the blood and take out carbon dioxide. They keep our bodies running smoothly. just like how a water pump and balloons would work together to keep a city running smoothly. And that's just 2 of our organs. We have many others, each with their own important job. For example, our stomach is like a mixer, breaking down the food we eat so our bodies can use it for energy. Our kidneys are like a filter, cleaning out waste products from our blood. But what's really amazing is how all these organs work together. Just like in a city where the water pump, the buildings, and the workers all need to work together for the city to function, our organs need to work together for our bodies to function. It's a bit like a soccer team. You know how each player has a different job? The goalie keeps the ball out of the net, the strikers try to score goals, and the midfielders help to control the game. Well, in the same way, each of our organs has a different job, but they all work together to keep us healthy and strong. So, our organs are like a team, each doing a different job to keep us healthy and strong. Let's talk about something fun. Birthdays. Have you ever thought about why we celebrate birthdays? Birthdays, as we know them today, are a tradition that has been around for a very long time. But why do we celebrate them? At its core, a birthday is a celebration of life. It's a time when we pause to appreciate the journey of life we or our loved ones have been on and to look forward to the adventures that lie ahead. Imagine you're on a long hike. Every now and then you stop to rest, take in the beautiful scenery around you, and appreciate how far you've come. That's what a birthday is like, a rest stop on the journey of life. It's a day to reflect on the past year, celebrate your achievements, and set goals for the year ahead. This celebration of life is also a chance for us to show love to the person whose birthday it is. Think about how special you feel when your friends and family gather to celebrate your birthday. You receive gifts, messages, and maybe even a party. All these gestures are ways of showing you that you're loved and valued. For example, let's think about birthday parties. There's cake, balloons, games, and sometimes even a clown or magician. These parties bring together friends and family, creating a fun and happy atmosphere. They make the birthday person feel special and loved. Or consider birthday gifts. They can be anything from a simple handmade card to an extravagant present. But the real value of these gifts isn't in their price tag. It's in the thought and care that went into choosing something that the birthday person would love. So, whether it's through a grand party, a thoughtful gift, or even a simple phone call, birthdays are a way for us to show our love and appreciation for the people in our lives. They're a reminder that every life is unique, valuable, and worth celebrating. So, birthdays are a special time when we celebrate life and show love to our friends and family. Let's discuss something important now. Why is it important for everyone to have the right to practice their own religion? Freedom of religion, what does that mean? Well, in simple terms, it's a principle that supports the freedom of an individual or a community, in public or private, to practice, establish, and change their religion or belief in teaching, practice, worship, and observance. It's a right that's recognized in many countries and is established in international human rights law. Now, why is this so important? Imagine a world where everyone was forced to believe in the same thing, where no one could express their unique ideas or beliefs. That would be quite dull and not very fair, wouldn't it? Freedom of religion is crucial because it supports human rights. The idea that every person, no matter who they are, where they're from, or what they believe, should be treated with dignity and respect. This freedom is also vital for peace. When people are free to practice their religion, they can express their beliefs without fear. This leads to a more peaceful society because it reduces conflicts that can occur when people feel their beliefs are being threatened or disrespected. Freedom of religion allows people to express their beliefs freely. It's like being able to wear your favorite color every day or choosing your favorite flavor of ice cream. Everyone has different tastes and preferences, and that's what makes us all unique. In the same way, everyone has different beliefs, and freedom of religion allows us to express these beliefs without fear of punishment or discrimination. Let's take a journey around the world to see how this works. In a country like the United States, for example, you can find a variety of religions coexisting. There are Christians, Muslims, Jews, Hindus, Buddhists, and many others. Each person is free to practice their religion, attend their place of worship, and celebrate their religious holidays. They can do this because of the freedom of religion. Over in India, a country known for its rich cultural and religious diversity, Hindus, Muslims, Christians, Buddhists, and Sikhs, among others, coexist. They are free to practice their religion and express their beliefs, contributing to the country's vibrant and diverse culture. In these societies, and many others around the world, diverse religions coexist because of the freedom of religion. This freedom allows people to express their unique beliefs and contributes to a vibrant and diverse society. So, the freedom to practice our own religion is a precious right that allows us to express our beliefs and live in harmony with others. It's like a beautiful garden filled with different types of flowers. Each flower is unique and beautiful in its own way, and together, they make the garden vibrant and colorful. The same goes for our world. Each of us, with our unique beliefs, contribute to the vibrancy and beauty of our world. We've learned so much today, haven't we? Let's take a few moments to remember the key points from each topic. We started our journey with the Olympic Games, a global event that brings nations together. It's not just about who's the fastest or the strongest, it's about celebrating unity, friendship, and peace. Just like the 5 interlocked rings in the Olympic flag, we're all connected and part of a larger global family. Then we took a trip to outer space, didn't we? Our curiosity and desire to explore the unknown have led us to discover amazing things about other planets. We've learned that there's so much more to the universe than what we see in the night sky. And speaking of amazing, we talked about our own bodies too. Each organ, like the heart and lungs, has its own special job. They work together to keep us healthy and strong. Our bodies are like a well-oiled machine, with each part playing a crucial role. We also talked about birthdays, a special day when we celebrate the joy of life. It's a day to feel special and loved, and to appreciate the journey we've embarked upon since the day we were born. Lastly, we discussed the importance of having the freedom to practice our own religion. This freedom allows us to express our beliefs and values in a way that feels right to us. It's a reminder that in our diverse world, everyone's beliefs and practices should be respected. Isn't it wonderful how much we can learn when we're curious and open-minded? Each of these topics shows us that whether it's in sports, space exploration, our bodies, celebrations, or beliefs, we're all connected in some way. Remember, every day is a day to learn something new. Good night, families, and keep exploring the world around you.